Welcome to the Restoration Pros Unplugged podcast. In each episode, we're going to bring you insightful interviews and discussions with top restoration industry leaders. We're also going to delve into their business, the strategies that made them successful, and most importantly, the valuable lessons they've learned along the way. I'm your host, Clinton James. I'm also the Chief Marketing Officer at Water Restoration Marketing. We're a digital marketing agency dedicated to helping restoration companies nationwide secure more high-value water jobs. Now, this show, it aims to provide you with the knowledge and tools you need to excel in the restoration industry. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Welcome, folks, to another episode of the Restoration Pros Unplugged podcast. As always, I'm your host, Clinton James. I'm also the Chief Marketing Officer over at Water Restoration Marketing. People, as we get ready to wrap up 2025, I work with over 130 restoration companies, and not only are we trying to get them more restoration work, one of the constant pain points I hear about is their ability to find, hire, and retain great people. We've had some other folks that talked about recruiting and staffing in the past, but I like to bring on fresh ideas, different business models here. So today, I'm joined by Paul Sanneman. Am I pronouncing it correctly, Paul?
You got it. You're good.
Awesome. Paul is the founder and owner of Contracting Staffing Source. Now,
Contractor Staffing Source.
I'm sorry, Man, Paul, thank you for correcting me.
No problem.
Contractor Staffing Source. The reason Paul and I connected is because what he does from a recruitment standpoint is critical for restoration companies. And he's got some great ideas for our audience to share with you in terms of best practices and why more and more restoration companies are going offshore to find great talent to plug some of the holes in their business. So, Paul, thank you for joining us on the Restoration Pros Unplugged
Thank you
podcast.
for having me.
Paul, before we get started with the Q&A, why don't you give the audience a little insight? How the heck did you end up doing staffing for contractors and specifically restoration companies?
Well, I've been a business coach for 50 years. Makes me an old guy, right? Long time. And I've worked with a couple thousand companies. And literally what happened, and they're all construction. About 7 years ago, I could get companies from 1 to 15 million because I'm good at marketing and stuff, but they couldn't find the employees. First brilliant idea, went out, did some research, found the best, software. I gave them the software and they totally screwed up. Well, okay, fine. This is going to work. So I hired a guy in my garage. I said, I want you to use this software to help my coaching clients find employees. That's where it started. Okay. Fast forward today, there's 44 people on the team. Last time I counted, we're in every market in the US and Canada. We've recruited like 3,000 or 4,000 people. We literally hire 10 to 30 people a week. And we're in every market in the US and Canada. So we know how to do it. I believe the labor shortage is self-created.
Ooh, now that's an interesting theory. Walk me through your mindset on that.
Well, I found 3,000 or 4,000 people. Where do they come from, right?
Okay, fair enough.
The problem is, especially when they don't spend the resources to find people. That's an issue, right? It's like, they'll spend marketing money, but you ask, I'll ask you, Clinton, how many of your, clients have a recruiting budget?
I would say probably less than a quarter of them.
Right. Not a lot, right?
Yeah.
Only the successful ones. It's like.
Yeah, I would say the ones that are doing, $5-10+ million a year, they might be the ones that have a recruiting budget.
So I started this company because it's a big problem in the industry. And when you work with us, we get a whole team. I can go through that later. But let me tell you, there's a couple myths I go over, and I think it's important for your listeners to know this. The one myth is only recruit when you need someone. Not true. You need to recruit all the time. That is a myth. Do not believe you only need to recruit when you need somebody.
So Paul, I believe you, because you and I just had this conversation because I'm doing some recruiting work for my agency right now, and we talked about it, and it's not just post the job ads when you need to bring people in. So walk me through a little bit more on that.
Well, you should be recruiting all the time because any successful company does. You never know who's out there, and it's a minuscule part of your budget. Hey, we can do for $1,500 a month, like 70. We can hire everybody you need. So you should always be recruiting. The second myth is employees are expensive. Oh, I can't afford the guy. You can't make money without employees. Right? I mean, they're the best asset you've got. And when somebody says, I can't afford to hire a project manager, you can't afford not to hire a project manager, right? because you can't make money without people. So people are not expensive. This is the third one, which definitely I deal with all the time. Oh, we can do it ourselves. What's the problem? The fact is, you can't do it well and do it yourself unless you've got a whole HR department.
Yeah. And most of your restoration companies don't have a
They don't. I
recruiter.
mean,
They don't
unless
have
you're
a
doing 5,
sourcer.
10 million, you haven't got an HR person. That's all they do is HR all the time. And I'm going to outline everything you need to do, but it'll become more obvious as we talk later in this podcast.
Okay.
Another one is recruit within the construction industry. Not true. I mean, I'll give you an example. Some of the best office managers I've found for companies like yours are wedding planners. Now think about it. What's a
Wow.
wedding?
Okay.
I mean, what's a wedding planner need to do? I mean, sort of like, I'm going to call it sort of marginally flaky people. They got to get the band, the venue, the flower person, the caterer. They've all got to be in the right place at the right time, and everybody has to be happy who's in a very upset mood. Sounds like what you do, doesn't it?
I mean, yeah. I mean, for restoration companies, an office manager wears so many different hats, and they've got
Right.
to be super well organized.
Right. So the person that has that talent base, it's not hard to learn the restoration business if you know how to be organized and how to get sort of semi weird people together all at the same time and all working, right? And hospitality doesn't pay much. So look outside of your industry. Here's another one that kills people. The myth is hire fast and fire slow. Wrong. You should hire slow and fire fast. Because I'm sure you've hired people because, oh my God, I need somebody, right? And so you hire them because you wait too long to hire them. Then they're the world's worst employee. They're not bad enough to fire, good enough to keep, and they stay on forever and they kill your organization,
True.
right? So I tell people listening to this podcast, anybody who has somebody working for them, they wouldn't rehire if they started their business over, they should fire. And I know you're listening to that and you know you've got somebody in mind, that guy or that woman.
I'm sure that it does.
I mean, another way to tell is when the phone rings and you look at someone, it's John. You have that sinking feeling, right? Go, oh my God, it's him or her again. Wrong person. Fire them. So you fire fast. The minute somebody doesn't meet your culture, isn't performing, you get rid of them. Now, why don't you get rid of them? Because you haven't got anybody to replace them. That's the problem. And and people think, oh, I'm recruiting ends. I'm going to it's a project. Like a project, right? They all think in terms of a project. I'm going to go in, I'm going to start the restoration and then I'm done. So their brain is on, project-based brain, right?
Sure.
So look at recruiting like a project. When you're a hammer, everything's a nail, right? So, oh, it's another project. It has a beginning, a middle, and end. Not true. It's like marketing. Marketing is not a project. And neither is recruiting. It's a process you do all the time. So those are the myths that get in people's way. Now back to how to do it yourselves. I'm going to tell you right now exactly what you need to do to get all the employees you want that are highly qualified.
All right, hold on, guys. If you're driving right now, don't worry about, pulling over to the road and grabbing a piece of paper and pen. We'll make sure we put a lot of these details in the show notes. So give us the game plan, Paul.
Okay, this is it. This would guarantee you 100%. We've hired 3,000 or 4,000 people, and 92% last longer than a year.
Okay.
I figured this out. Okay. Why not how to do it? I'm going to tell you exactly how to do it. Okay. 1, you've got to write a job ad to attract the candidate. What that means, you got to write a job ad that's going to get somebody to quit their other job and come to work for you. Right?
How does one structure a job ad so that it's that appealing?
You go to ChatGPT and tell it what you want. It's really good at that, right?
Yeah.
You go to AI and say, I'm, this kind of a company. I'm this kind of market. I'm paying this kind of thing. Please write me an ad that'll get somebody to quit their job and come to work for me. It's really good at that. So AI can do that really well. All right. Next, post the job ad everywhere, not just Indeed, we post it on 100 job boards plus LinkedIn. We put it everywhere. Not just one. You've got to post it everywhere. And you can also go to ChatGPT or any AI and say, okay, where should I post this job? And it will list 100 job boards.
Love that.
All right. So AI is really good at that. It'll list all the job boards and don't miss any of them. And LinkedIn's great because people go through LinkedIn and they go, oh, I don't like my job that much. I should look at LinkedIn, right? Now, this is the one that AI can't do, and it's why we're in business. You ready for this one?
Yeah, it sounds like the secret sauce, Paul. Give us the secret sauce.
Respond in real time. The
Well, hold
minute
on.
somebody applies, we get back to them within a minute. Speed to lead.
Okay, Paul, I hear what you're saying, but I'm putting myself in the position of the guy that owns a restoration company that's listening to the podcast today. And man, he's managing projects, he's overseeing project managers, he's arguing with insurance adjusters, he's dealing with TPAs. Like, how can he immediately respond to somebody that just happened to find this job posting online at
The
3 o'clock
fact
in the
is he's
afternoon?
not, and that's why the system will fail.
Hmm. Why
That's
is speed? Why is speed the lead? I understand from a marketing standpoint, but explain to the audience when you're going out and you're looking for your next good hire. Why is speed the lead so important?
okay. So let's say, Clinton, you want to look for another job just for fun, right?
Mhm.
And you're in LinkedIn and you go, oh, this looks interesting. I'll apply to this company. What do you think about the company that gets back to you within a minute?
They're on it. They're on top of things. They're
They're on it,
looking.
right?
Yeah,
What about the guy that gets back a week later?
I probably have already forgotten about that role.
Oh, I
Honestly,
forget. It's the same curve applies like a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. You know how it goes like that like a rock. You're a marketing company, right?
yep,
After 5 minutes, you're done.
yeah.
It's the same thing because it's a sales job. You're trying to recruit this guy to quit his job or her job and come to work for you. And so it's a sale like any other sale.
That
Speed
seems
to lead is crucial.
that seems super labor intensive, and there's probably not a restoration company in the country that's doing under $10 million. They can afford to have the head count to follow up on that many, especially if you're posting on 100 different job boards that are actually
Okay.
going to bring
We
candidates to you.
respond to 30,000 resumes a month in real time, 5,000 a week. Why do you think I have a team?
Yeah. What's that response? What's that response initially like? Let's say somebody.
Well, there's an automated one, there's a follow-up one. So it's
Okay.
like we immediately respond to them like, thank you for applying, blah, blah, blah. Please fill out this form. And so you've got this is the one, this is why they need to hire us first because they can't do it. It's just
Okay.
not possible. Okay.
Yep.
So you respond in real time. Now, once you've got that one down, and we respond to literally, we go through 5,000 resumes a week to hire like 20 people.
Oh,
Those are
wow.
the numbers. All right.
Now, are you
Yeah.
using AI to screen through those resumes, or you actually have
No, we
people
use
eyes
real. I've
on?
tried
Okay.
AI, Clint. It doesn't work. It's wrong 20% of the time. Never the 20% is. I wish it did. I work on training it like every day with hundreds and hundreds of applicants trying to get it right, and it hasn't got it right yet. Believe me,
Okay.
if it was right, I'd love it. But it misses 20% of the time,
Okay.
and you don't know when that 20% is, right? So next, a detailed skills and behavioral assessment. This you can buy someplace. As a matter of fact, for people listening to this podcast, if their clients are yours, I'll do the assessment before they hire somebody. In fact, I just did that for you, didn't I?
You did, and it was when I tell you it was a detailed assessment. I'm talking about. I'm looking to add some folks to our sales and marketing team in my agency, and as I followed up with the candidates today that took the assessment, the first thing they said is, "Wow, that was in depth." Right? We're talking 200 plus questions, and they
Right.
had to spend some time actually knocking that out. But the assessments that it gave were really in alignment with the way I felt about each one of the candidates. There were a couple that were not, which was kind of eye-opening for me when I read through it.
Right.
But tell the audience a little bit about the assessments and
So a
what you're
good
willing to do with the audience.
assessment, we developed over 20 years, and it's the history of the assessment. Every time we go assessment, we're wrong. I mean, the assessment will say, don't hire the guy because he's not honest, don't hire the guy because he's not attention to detail, don't hire the guy because whatever. And it points it out, and you go, no, but he's my brother-in-law, he's good. And then 6 months later, he leaves. So, and I'm telling you, the assessments are crucial. We have, I think, the best in the industry. You can go buy, there's there's assessments you can buy out there. And then if you have somebody, before you hire them, I'll do the assessment for free just to show how it works.
Okay, guys,
So
we're gonna put a link in the show notes for you to reach out to Paul and his team. So if you're looking to hire for a position and you got some candidates you want
don't
to have them run
hire
an assessment.
anybody until you assess them
Okay.
because that is why they don't work out. There's technology there that you can get a 95% if you follow the damn rules. All right. Next, after the detailed assessment, you do an initial phone screening or video interview. We do that with everybody. You
Okay.
can find out in the assessment and in the video and everything, you didn't find out in the assessment.
Okay.
Like you can't ask somebody how old they are they healthy, what they look like. But in the video interview, and it's done in their time, not in real time, because it's much easier than on their phone, on the computer, whatever. We can find out everything we didn't find out on the assessment.
Yep.
So between the video interview and the assessment, we know we've got the right person for this specific job. The assessment tells me, do they have the right personality? Do they have the right integrity? Do they have the right intelligence? The right mechanical skills? You've seen it. It's amazingly
It
detailed,
is.
isn't
It is very detailed.
it? Okay, so do that. do the video interview. Now, then you do an in-person interview. Once you get all this done, he's the right guy, then you have time to do those in-person interviews. You know, that makes sense. But
Yeah.
you're not going to go through the 500 to find one person interview. That's the problem. That's why there's a labor shortage, because you don't put the resources into doing it right.
That's you make a really excellent point. And I also like the marriage between using AI to help craft job postings and things like that, but a human touch when it comes to resume reviewing, right? A human
You
touch when it
can't. I
comes to
mean,
that initial video
I
interview.
built a company, and well, I'll get to it later. Maybe I can diverge here a second. My secret sauce is offshore and AI.
Well, we're going to talk about the offshore part of it because
Okay,
I'm
let me finish
very
this, but
intrigued.
that's coming. That's why people aren't gonna, turn off the podcast yet, because
There you
that's
go.
gonna be coming at the end. All right. So next, conduct background checks. Don't skip the background check. I have a real story. I had a client of mine who got embezzled for $100,000 from his, office manager. And he went to the DA, and the DA said, "Don't you realize you got let go from your last 3 jobs for the same thing?" Like, come on,
That's insane.
right?
Um,
So do background checks and call the references. It's crucial. We do that with everybody. We don't hire anybody to do the background checks and references. Now, some states you can't do a background check until you've offered them a position. Depends on the laws of the state.
okay.
You know how to follow those rules. But before you hire them, do a background check, okay? And call the references.
Hey, Paul, I've got a real quick question for you about references because I've always looked at references as like, man, anybody can come up with 2 or 3 professional acquaintances to put on there that'll say something nice about them. And I don't place a lot of value in that person being honest about the way that person conducts
So
themselves in
Clinton, let's
previous
say
roles.
you let somebody go because they stole from you, right?
Hmm.
Okay. They're applying for a job. I call them and say, "Hey, did John Doe work here? How was he? What are you going to tell me?"
Well, in California, I can't tell you a lot, right? Just the
But
state
you're
laws.
good. But now, go
But what
ahead.
I'm saying, Paul, is that employee or that person that's applying for the job is never going to put me down as a reference if she
No,
stole from my
but
business.
he will still put people down. We can find out.
Okay.
It's good information, because people have said that not everybody that he was okay, but I wouldn't hire him again. I never. You can get a sense of that person by talking to reference.
Okay.
All
All
right, we
right.
have the right questions. All
All
right.
right.
The next, make a competitive job offer. This guy or woman is quitting their job to come for work for you. So don't try to cheap out. I mean, now we hire hundreds of people, and you have to be competitive. You have to pay them more. Most people don't quit their jobs because of money. Most people quit their jobs because they don't like who they're working for, and they're not being treated well, they're not respected. It's all these other reasons, but it's not money. So as long as you're competitive, you're good. All right. The last one, ensure a successful onboarding. That is crucial. Okay. Here we have, John or Mary, they worked for this guy for 5 years. They made the big decision. And let's say it's John, and he goes to work for you. He's all excited about doing this thing on the first day, right? Now, he's going to come back the end of the first day, and he's going to have one of 2 things to say to his wife, or some version of that. He's going to go, "Oh my God, this is the best decision I've ever made. These people are amazing." Or he's going to go, "I'm not sure I made the right decision."
Walk me through what a top tier, like a grade A onboarding process looks like for
Hey,
a new
this is where ChatGPT is great. You can literally say, "Give me a 3-week onboarding process. Here's the person, here's the position, here's what I want them," and it will lay out day by day exactly everything you have to. AI is great for that.
Okay. Well, we've talked a little bit about AI, but you seem to have found the perfect marriage of AI and offshore labor, and
I
I'm
have.
really curious to see how you're utilizing that specifically for restoration companies. Because I'm putting my again, a lot of the restoration company owners, I love people that work in home services that own home service businesses. I refer to them as blue collar entrepreneurs, and I
Right.
love their spirit. A lot of them, I think, might be a little hesitant to go offshore for some of the roles they're looking to fill. So walk
Okay.
me
The
through
problem
that.
is the offshore gets sort of a bad rap
Okay.
because they don't do it right. It's just like a labor shortage, right? So it's the same kind of myth that now we go through 500 or 600 people to find one. If you go through 10, you're in trouble. You got to, but, and then you've got to do assessments. You got to do video interview. You got to follow the same process.
Okay.
And when we're hiring somebody in South America or Nigeria or pick a place, literally we get 50 to 100 applicants a day.
And the quality of those applicants is just as good as anybody you're going to find in the state.
It's well, not all in general. I would say no on the average, but there is those unicorns. There's the people out that are amazing, right?
What
But
roles?
you got to
Oh, go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Paul.
and you got to find. So it depends on the. I mean, like they could be marketing people, they could be VAs, they could anything that you can do on a computer that you don't have to be in the office for. They can do. They can do estimating, job costing, run the software. If they don't have to physically be in an office, you can do it offshore.
Huh.
Now you can't have them go out and meet people, but any
Sure.
position that you say, well, I don't care if the guy is in Tennessee or in the Philippines or next door, it's all the same. Because when you think about what we do, right, everything's on computers
Sure.
or on Zoom. We don't actually have to physically talk to anybody in their presence. We can do everything on Zoom and on computers.
Right.
So we built our entire company on, once I discovered offshore labor, that's all I've hired for the last 5 years.
Contractor Staffing Source is a global company. You have
Right.
folks all over the world that are working
Right.
for you, every time zone, speaking multiple languages. I guess it really allows you to be effective when you're going after that offshore talent because you've got
Right. I mean,
folks.
because we have like zero turnover, literally. And nobody ever leaves the company because we're a great place to work for. We pay fairly. But you have to look at it like, let's say I hired somebody, I'm going to say, in Colombia, right? And, I hired a guy in Colombia. He has he has a couple degrees from English universities. He worked in Dubai. He has this total act together, very professional guy. Now, I'm a surgeon in Dubai, a surgeon in Colombia makes $9 to $10 an hour.
A surgeon.
A surgeon, right?
Wow.
So I can pay him the same as a surgeon. Great for me, great for him, right?
Absolutely.
So the scale's different. You can buy a house for 50 grand. It's a different economy entirely, right? So you get amazing people because you pay them really well for where they are, but it's a fraction of the cost of what is the United States. But you
I-
got the where people screw up is they don't go through hundreds. You got to go through hundreds and hundreds. It's to find one. But when you find one, they're amazing. Their English can be perfect. And then you combine that with them using AI. It's the best of both worlds, right? Because they've got the best technology on the planet. They're amazing people, and they're a fraction of the cost. You can't beat it.
Couple quick questions for you, because when you're recruiting globally, but you've got businesses here, home service businesses here in the States, the hours of operation sometimes for that business and when they need that remote employee to actually be dialed in and working for the
Isn't a
business.
problem.
Okay.
You talked to my VA, right?
I did.
You
I
talked-
did. She is outstanding.
Right. How was her English?
English is flawless. I would never have known she wasn't in the United States.
Absolutely, right? And she works, did you tell you when she works from when to when?
She did from she referred to it as
11
the
at night
graveyard
to
ship.
11 at night to 6 in the morning, right?
And she seemed like she is bright-eyed
She
and
loves
bushy-tailed
it.
as
She
anybody.
loves it.
So
She likes doing that, right? It's like, oh man, that's amazing, right? And I pay her like that $5 or $6 an hour, and that's really good for where she is. She gets to stay at home. She gets to have the hours she wants. She gets paid. It's a win-win all the way around. And then she uses AI to help do everything she needs to do, and she's just a killer employee for a fraction of the cost.
are the offshore talent that you're finding right now, are they up to date on the latest ways to utilize technology and
I would
AI
say
specifically?
sometimes they're way more up to date than people are here. clearly.
Okay. Okay.
Because again, you're going through 500 or 600 to find one, right?
Mhm.
You're being very picky. And so if they needed a marketing, I just hired a marketing person. She edits videos. She knows all the social media. She's been doing social media for like 5 years. She has a degree in marketing. She's in the Philippines. I think I'm paying her $6 an hour, and she's killing it, including editing videos and everything else. She's just doing a great job of being content management for
Outstanding.
all my clients.
Another question I have for you. Again, this is just me playing devil's advocate because I know there's
Yeah.
restoration guys in their truck driving to a job site right now that are thinking some of these things. Is it hard to manage a remote employee like that as opposed to somebody in the office that I can walk by and I can see them
I will
working?
tell you, if anything, it's easier.
How so?
I'll tell you why, okay? I can call one of my VAs at, pick a number, 10 o'clock at night, her time. She answers the phone and is excited to answer the phone. How many employees can you call at night at 10 o'clock and they're excited to answer the phone?
I don't know that many of them would answer the phone at 10 o'clock at night.
They wouldn't
Paul.
answer the phone at all, right? So that's the whole point. It's a different work ethic. It's a whole different thing. They're excited to have the job. They love what they do. And they pick up the phone at 10 o'clock and go, wow, how can I help you? This is great. They never go, oh my God, it's 10 o'clock at night. Why are you calling me?
I know we've got a hard out, but Paul, I want to give you an opportunity to kind of go through where exactly your company fills in the gaps for these. So let's say I'm a restoration company. I'm hearing what you're saying. I'm like, hey, I do have a couple roles that I'm looking to fill. I don't have a full-time recruiter. How would they work with you, and kind
Okay,
of what would
what
that
they can
process look like?
do is they can go to Contractor Staffing Source, they can have an appointment with me. I still do all the sales. I love doing it.
Okay.
They can talk to me. I'll talk about what they can do. It can be $1,500 a month. It can be two, depending on what they sign up for. But it can be as low as $1,500 a month for 5 positions. And and then if they do the month, like a month at a time. So it really fits what they need to do. It's the HR department that they don't have. Where can you get an HR department with 4 people in it, with all the technology, all the software, everything you have to have top-notch HR for $1,500 a month? It ain't gonna happen.
You said 4 people assigned to their account. So walk me through what those roles are and how they work with that restoration business.
Okay, the first one is a pipeline scanner. Again, who's going to stand on those pipelines in real time? You got a pipe. That's their whole job, pipeline scanning.
Okay.
Then we have an account manager. Their job is to get them to take the assessments
Okay.
and get them to do the video. Their job is to get them to do the stuff. They have an assistant because it's not an easy job. And then you meet with a specialist. You meet with them every week. They run the account. They tell you who to hire, who not to hire. They're like your in-house HR person you talk to every week for half an hour.
Now, does the restoration company, I've got the roles that I know to fill, but I've
Okay.
never written a job posting that's
We'll
been
do
really
everything.
aggressive.
Just call.
Okay.
We'll do everything. We'll write the ads. We'll write the ads. We'll place them for you. We'll put them everywhere. We'll do everything you should do, but aren't doing. That whole list I just showed you, we do all of that.
Okay. Guys, I'm going to add to the show notes and the YouTube descriptions links to get a hold of Paul directly, so that you guys can book some time on his calendar. Because if you are like me and in constant need, even if you're not in constant need of making hires, I love the idea of just having a pipeline of people that have raised their hand and said they're interested in working for you. And when you need them, you've got that well to go to instead of starting from scratch, right?
So anybody that thinks there's a labor shortage, call me. I can prove them different.
I like that. Paul, any last message you have for the restoration guy that again, 2025 has been a rough year when it came to hiring for him.
Have a budget. Include it. You've got a marketing budget. You should have a recruiting budget. And you're no better than your team. And what really upsets me sometimes is that building a team is the most valuable thing you can do as a business owner. There's nothing more important than that. An example would be Elon Musk. He's a really smart guy, but what is he? He can build teams. Your ability to build a team will more than anything else affect what you do. Because people go, oh, my scheduling system's out because you got the wrong guy. My sales arm, we got the wrong guy. It's not the system, it's the person. If you build the right team, your systems will work. If you don't have the right people, I don't care what systems you have, they won't work.
Paul, I really appreciate you getting on the podcast today. If you're listening to this and you are so moved to want to reach out to Paul and his team, I think it's definitely worth the conversation. Again, we're going to drop a link so they can reach out to you, Paul, in the show notes and the YouTube descriptions there. I'm sure we'll also link to some of your social media pages so they can see some of this great content that you've got out there. Before we go, I want to thank Scott over at Gorley, because he's the one that actually introduced the two of us there, right?
Okay.
A great guy in the restoration space. So, Paul, it's been an absolute pleasure. We appreciate you
I really
jumping
thank
on.
you for being. I would love to get this information out. I really appreciate you having me.
No, thank you for being on. If you like what you heard today, again, look for the show notes, the YouTube description for all the contact information to reach out to Paul and the team over at Contractor Staffing Source. I said it right that time, Paul.
You
I said
did.
it right.
Got
that
it
time.
right. And just make an appointment with me and we're good. Okay.
All right, guys. And if you want more content like this, more insight from folks that are really helping the restoration community, make sure you guys like, subscribe, and follow the Restoration Pros Unplugged podcast. We will be back next week with another guest. And until then, we like to tell folks to stay busy, stay dry, and stay safe. Thanks again for
Absolutely.
joining us, Paul.
I appreciate it, Glenn. Thank you.
Thank you for listening to the Restoration Pros Unplugged podcast. If you like what you heard today, be sure to subscribe, share, and also leave us a 5-star review. We'll be back with more interviews and discussions with restoration industry leaders really soon. In the meantime, if you're a restoration company looking to add more high-value water jobs, you can reach me and my team at waterrestorationmarketing.net. Again, that's waterrestorationmarketing.net. I look forward to hearing from you soon.